Yeah, so my name is Giulio Girardi. I'm a financial economist in the Division of Economic and Risk Analysis at the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission. So as a financial economist, what I try to do is to marry the knowledge of the economic literature with the data that we have in the building to build risk assessment model and help other divisions within the SEC to detect instances of fraud and misconduct in the securities marketplace. Well, I have a quantitative background. I went to school. I got my master in economics, and then I did a PhD in econ, and I really did a lot of statistics and econometrics. So coming out of my PhD, I did some applied econometric work in finance, and so really from there I transitioned into finance, financial econometrics, and when I got to the SEC. The fact that I got a job at the Office of Risk Assessment, it was a good fit, given my quantitative background and the business aspect of the office. So that's how the business analytics came to place. So my small team, the office where I work is relatively small. It's about 9-10 people. Is most of us, 7-8 of us, is financial economists, and then we have a few analyst programmers in our office. But in our office, essentially, what we try to build kind of the prototype for the model. But then once the model is mature enough, is ready enough, and we want to put in production, then we tap into the broader DERA team, the division that are, where my office is located. And in that team, there are, programmer, computer science, operational research analyst, database people. And so, to put those in production, develop tool dashboard to display the results of our analytics, we tap into a broader set of people, outside of just our small group of economists and analysts. I mean, one of the things that I noticed pretty early on working in the line of business that I work in is there's no such a thing as like one approach fit all. It really is important that you tailor your analytics, your product to the people that you're trying to serve, that you're trying to help. And so, locking up yourself in your own office and, trying to build something that makes sense to you and stay away for weeks and months, in my mind, is not the best way to go about this. Is really like having that, continuous contact with the people you're trying to serve. You may call them customer, but in my mind, they're almost more like partner, right? The people that you're trying to serve, if you can get them to become your partner, to be invested in what you're trying to do for them, tap into their expertise, their knowledge of the space in which you're trying to insert analytics to solve a problem. And so I think, and tailor your what you're building depending on their need, and really being, close to their need is the best way to go about this. So that would be my number one advice. Don't go there, lock yourself in a room, try to build a model that makes sense to you. Really try to work with people that you're trying to help and to serve. Well, yeah, I mean, one advice, again, along those lines, is probably would be not to feel compelled to necessarily even build the most sophisticated model, the more accurate, the more advanced model, because oftentimes, there tend to be a trade-off between accuracy, complexity of this model, and explainability. And so if you ended up, building a model that it may be very accurate, but it come out as a black box for people that are supposed to use that model for their operation, it may not be as successful. It's not gonna get enough traction. It's not gonna be really as useful. Here is, being aware of this trade-off between sometimes complexity, accuracy, and explainability. Is important because, striking the right balance and understanding who you're trying to serve, what is really they need, how the model will be used, is an important thing to have in mind early on in your process. So just understand, where exactly you want to be on this line, between accuracy, complexity, and explainability. It's important. I don't know, parting thought, I think a lot of people get caught up with a few buzzwords, machine learning, AI, and that's fine. Listen, there's tremendous value in a lot of these things. That's what I do for my job. But I think it's important that also people don't lose sight of the fact that there's always a lot of human thinking behind. And so machinery or algorithms, they don't build themselves. There's always a lot of human judgment that goes behind even certain modeling decision. And so don't ever lose sight of that, and always try to have, as you approach an analytical problem, try to always have clear what type of problem you're trying to solve ahead of time, and don't rely just on machinery or extract information from the data without necessarily having clear what you're trying to do with the data, without building hypotheses, without trying to really use your human judgment element for what you're trying to build.